Welcome to Kelowna, BC, the heart of the Okanagan, known for its natural beauty from pristine lakes to snow-covered mountains. Kelowna offers something for everyone. People come from all over the world to experience its wide open spaces, its nature parks, and its accessibility to outdoor recreation. But Kelowna is also known for its geology. Turns out it has one of the most unique geological sites in the world. Do you want to see it? It's right over here. Come with me. This is Layer Cake Mountain, one of the most unique geological sites in the world. It was formed over 200,000 years ago, and there is no other formation like it anywhere. But don't take my word for it. Let's check with an expert.
Layer Cake Mountain is a dacitic volcanic landform formed within a lava flow about 40 million years ago. This is a truly unique site, juxtaposing two natural wonders. It is unlike anything you are like to see elsewhere in the world.
Oh, did I mention? There's a Vancouver developer who has an application with the city of Kelowna to build 21 luxury homes. Wait for it. Right here?
Remember that extraordinary view? Gone.
Well, that's not totally true. They still have the view. It's just gone from us. The public. You and me. So you're probably thinking, well, it's their land. They should be able to do whatever they want on it. Wrong. Let me explain. There's something called the Official Community Plan, or as it's better known, OCP. This is a 233-page City of Kelowna document that spells out exactly what can be built where. But don't take my word for it. Let's have the OCP speak for itself.
The OCP is a plan that sets a strategic course for the next 20 years as to how our city should grow, prioritizing areas, decisions, and policies that our citizens have told us they want to focus on.
Over here, we have a map of the city of Kelowna. See all those different colors? That determines the different zones and what can be built in each zone. Can we zoom in on the Pinnacle golf course? See that green color? That is private recreation land, or REC. Hey, OCP, are you allowed to build houses on rec land?
Absolutely not. I'd like to go to Chapter 3, Future Land Use Designations. Now scroll down to Private Recreational. Limited Retail Commercial to support recreational uses. In plain language, it means no housing.
But don't take our word for it. Let's ask another expert.
The current zoning of the Pinnacle golf course is P3 parks and open space with a future land use of private recreational. No residential development could occur in this current zone.
Well, that seems pretty clear. I guess the city of Kelowna really likes its parks.
Absolutely. This is what the city of Kelowna says about the importance of parks. And I quote, "Parks are foundational for social well-being. Above all, parks are a gift to the future generations."
So what they're saying, I guess, is if you build on parkland, you don't just take it away from the residents of Kelowna, but you take it away from their children and their children's children for futures to come. So why would a Vancouver developer want to build luxury homes on parkland in Kelowna? Surely the developer has met with the 1,200 residents to discuss this proposed development with them. Sadly, they have not. But what about the 1999 agreement? You know the one, between the developer and the residents, which states, and I quote, "It shall consult on a regular basis regarding issues affecting the residents related to the residential development." But they didn't consult with the residents at all. But don't take my word for it. Let's check with an expert.
Unfortunately, the developer has not consulted with the residents whatsoever. Their commitment to consult with us, as stated in the 1999 agreement, has been totally ignored. We've reached out to them on many occasions, but they have declined to meet with us.
Wow. I sure hope they didn't tell the city of Kelowna that they consulted with the residents. Like in this rationale page. Jeff, can you throw up the rationale page? Based on substantial community input? Based on comprehensive consultation and feedback from the neighborhood? Substantial community input? They have not had substantial community input. But don't take my word for it. Let's check with another expert.
This statement that there has been substantial community consultation and input is false and misleading.
But doesn't the city need more housing? Absolutely. But it turns out they're doing very well in this department. In fact, they're doing extremely well. Did you know that they're breaking records? But don't take my word for it. Let's check with an expert. Wow, that's impressive. Good work, City of Kelowna. You see, the city does need affordable housing in the urban center, close to city transit, and connected to the city sewer system. But this proposal is not affordable housing, not near transit, not connected to the city sewer system, and it is nowhere near the urban center. Want to see how far it is? This is how far it is away. And there's one more thing, and take special note of this. This lies outside of the permanent growth boundary, which the City of Kelowna states they do not support urban development. But don't take my word for it. Let's find out what the City of Kelowna states, and I quote, "The permanent growth boundary outlines the area outside of which urban development is not supported." Well, that seems pretty clear. Is there another graphic we can put up to hammer this point home? This blue area is the permanent growth boundary. Way down here is the Pinnacle golf course. Permanent growth boundary, Pinnacle golf course. Did you know that the proposed site is on ecologically sensitive habitat that is home to an array of BC wildlife, including geese, who raise their goslings here, deer that graze here, where coyotes are free to roam, and Columbia ground squirrels raise their kits. It is also part of an important corridor for BC's black bears and the occasional cougar. This most certainly would do irreversible damage to this fragile ecosystem. Don't take my word for it. Let's check with an expert. The Okanagan Collaborative Conservation Program is one of the most respected environmental umbrella organizations in the Okanagan, who work with over 40 groups, including the City of Kelowna, Environment and Climate Change Canada, the Ministry of Water, Lands and Resource Stewardship, BC Parks Foundation, Nature Conservancy Canada, the University of British Columbia, Regional District of Central Okanagan, Central Okanagan Land Trust. I think you get the idea. They are very well respected. The project coordinator for OCCP did an environmental impact study on the proposed development site and concluded that this would, and I quote, "destroying essential critical habitats." And there is more. The OCCP found several species protected under the Federal Species at Risk Act, have critically recognized habitats in Gallagher's Canyon at the proposed development site. And there's still more. This is page 148 from the CRC's 1998 Conceptual Development Plan. Jeff, can you zoom into the dotted area? This dotted area is where the developer created a conservation area. Conservation area. Let's have Webster's Dictionary explain what a conservation area is. An area of land that is protected and that cannot be built on. Are you seeing where this is going? Jeff, can you put up the image showing exactly where the developer is applying to build? Can you layer the two over each other? No way! They want to build right on a conservation area. Sorry, but this is so wrong. Since the developer never talked with the residents, we thought that we would. Come with me. We did 4 surveys over 5 years to see how the residents feel about a proposed development on the Pinnacle. The first survey was to the 5 stratas within 300 meters of the proposed site. The results, it was pretty clear. 86% opposed. Wow, you really opposed it. The second survey was taken in 2020 of all the stratas of Gallagher's Canyon. 14 stratas, 644 homes, and 1,200 residents. The results, well, it was even clearer. 87% opposed. You can put your hands down now. They never listen. Anyway, a third survey was done in 2022, again of all the residents, the 1,200 residents of Gallagher's Canyon. And the results, what is more clear than clear? It was super clear. 92% opposed. Wow, those numbers were criminal. And if you're still not convinced, there was yet another survey conducted, this time in 2024, by the strata right next to the proposed development. 100% of the people were surveyed, 100% of the people responded, and you guessed it, 100% opposed! And I don't blame them. One of the residents was so upset, he hired an outside company to do an exact rendering of what the building would look like right next to his house. Do you want to see it? It looked like this. That is his view right now, and that is what his view will look like. Can you meet me back in the classroom? This is an armadillo. A zoologist would call it a Dasypus novensinctus. This is a ladder. A homeowner would call it a ladder. This is a golf course. The developer would call it an amenity. Amenity, a provision provided by a developer as a condition to build a development. The Pinnacle Golf Course is an amenity. It was secured as an amenity before the developer was allowed to build Gallagher's Canyon. How do I know this? Because CRC told us. On February 23rd, 1999, at a City of Kelowna public hearing, it was stated and documented, page 86 please, Tony Markoff of CRC Developments stated the City of Kelowna staff would not allow development to proceed until the necessary amenities were secured. The City of Kelowna made it clear that the provision and securing of the Pinnacle Golf Course was integral before they were allowed to build Gallagher's Canyon. And lastly, and this is very important, CRC knew back then, and they know now, that they're not allowed to build on the Pinnacle golf course. They knew if they wanted to expand the development, they had to purchase another property. How do I know this? Because CRC told us. This is the other thing that Tony Markoff of CRC Developments stated at that public hearing before the mayor and council and citizens of Kelowna. And I quote, that he could not guarantee that 15 years from now, there will not be another rezoning application to expand the development if another property comes available. So, obviously, another property never became available. So that would make the development complete. But don't take my word for it. Let's check with an expert. The problem is, the only true expert would be CRC themselves. It's only CRC who can conclusively determine when the project is complete. Could you imagine if a document existed from CRC on CRC letterhead, signed by the Vice President of CRC of Operations, that stated conclusively that the development was finished on March 12th, 2018? Jeff, can you throw up that document?
The community has been complete for some time, and it is appropriate for CRC to transition out of the Gallagher's Canyon project.
And that is why no future development should ever be built on the Pinnacle golf course. Now let's just do a recap of what we have found. It blocks one of the most unique geological sites in the world. Luxury homes are not affordable housing. It does not comply with the official community plan. It is outside of the permanent growth boundary. It takes away parkland from Kelowna residents and their children and their children's children. The developer never consulted with the residents. It is adamantly opposed by 1,200 residents of Gallagher's Canyon. It builds a massive wall and cuts off sunlight. It damages sensitive ecological parkland. It threatens several species recognized under the Species at Risk Act. The Pinnacle golf course was promised and secured as an amenity. The site is committed as a conservation area, would only expand if another property comes available. And CRC declared on March 12, 2018 that the Gallagher's Canyon development is completed. Or how about Kelowna should never allow luxury homes to be built on public parkland?